The second major burn for XRP is happening in the next 72 hours. Last week, XRP did a massive burn, burning over 13.9 million XRP, destroying it permanently on the XRP ledger. And in total, 30 million XRP has been burned and removed from circulation. But what people are not telling you is that in the next 48 hours, the XRP ledger will experience another major supply burn. And last time we had a burn similar to the one that we're going to experience, XRP went from 0.006 to $3.27 overnight. Take a look at this chart from 2017 to a 2017's price was 0.006, and then by the time the burn actually happened overnight, the price of XRP skyrocketed to $3.27. And if we were to just do the simple math and calculate the same exact percentage ratio, which is a 54,000% increase, then the price of XRP would be literally $1,166.30 overnight.
Now, XRP's current price is $2.15, but what people are not telling you is that the United States of America already declared Ripple XRP will replace the US dollar, and we made a short clip about this just a couple hours ago, I think like 24 hours ago, confirming that this in fact was the case, and that institutional adoption was going to be a massive partnership with Ripple Labs in the United States, to where they now allow Ripple Labs and are integrating RippleNet into the Federal Reserve payment system for external cross-border payments. This is now pretty much confirmed and a fact, and there's been numerous articles that have verified this, including an article that you guys see here in front of you that says US declares Ripple XRP will in fact replace the dollar. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
So the United States just declared that Ripple XRP will replace the US dollar. In fact, the largest hedge fund manager confirmed that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, has already begun buying XRP for the Federal Reserve USA Treasury, and confirmed that over $654 trillion will be facilitated onto the XRP ledger beginning in the next 72 hours using the real token, which is currently in pre-sale but is built on the XRP ledger, which is set to facilitate the over $600 trillion real estate market, burning XRP with every transaction onto the XRP ledger. This is in addition to RealFi announcing the institutional partnerships for the real token, which is currently in pre-sale for the next 72 hours and is about to experience a major supply shock, is literally unfolding, with centralized exchanges waiting to list it upon the end of pre-sale. On top of this, we are talking about institutions jumping on board the XRP ledger using the real token. Now imagine all 654.9 trillion actually going into XRP. That would trigger a massive XRP price of over, take a look at this, $11,517 per XRP. This is confirmed with the $650 trillion market, which is going to begin in the next 72 hours going into XRP. But imagine what that would cause the price of a real token to skyrocket, which is currently in pre-sale. And take a look, it's currently sitting at 2 cents. But this is what it would be. With $650 trillion going into the real token, because it has a very low supply, of a limited supply for phase 1 of 100 million, we're looking at, if all the money goes into real token, over $6 million per real token. Again, that's higher than Bitcoin. If only 20% of it goes into the real token, so 20% of the 650 trillion goes into real token, we're looking at 1 million, and if only 2% goes into the real token, we're looking at $130,000 per real token. Guys, this is the money. We are talking about real token on the XRP ledger, and it's gotten an 8.7 out of 10 score on BenX exchange, which is the number one XRP ledger exchange. It also is very low risk. You have a BenX score of 100%, KYC score of 100%. This is bullish, and it continues to increase in holders day by day. We're talking about 744 holders in pre-sale, which is ending in the next 72 hours. So if you're not in it, again, not financial advice, but there's some crazy support levels. Look at this, and some very low resistance. I mean, this is where the money is all at right now. Of course, it's extreme bullish. Make sure you like, you comment.
Now, this is where things even get more bullish. Guys, we have the numbers. I mean, the price of XRP has been confirmed. We've told you $11,000. We've told you the potential for XRP, the real potential of $1,000 with this massive burn that could happen overnight. But take a look at what this expert analyst has to say about the 4 key price points. These key price points you have to keep on your price charts, starting off with $27.91 per XRP. I mean, this makes a lot of sense. In my mind, it probably does to you. This is when the Ripple SC lawsuit is completed. Everybody knows that some of their Ripple lawsuit is really what is the final piece to trigger the breakup for XRP. We've been waiting on this because the lawsuit is what's been pushing the price of XRP down. Institutions are scared to touch XRP because of this lawsuit. But once it becomes official, where the court system says that the SEC lawsuit is over, it's dismissed, or it's settled, that's when we will see the price rise. And now we are taking another step further here, because we know that there has been some rumors of settlement, there has been some rumors of dismissal, but there is no official statement yet. So obviously the statement is what we are waiting for. But in the second price point here is the real estate tokenization by RealFi team and the real token centralized exchange listings. Now, why is that going to trigger the price of XRP to over $144.81 per XRP in stage 2? Well, it's because of two key things. Number one is the XRP ledger is what's housing the RealFi ecosystem, which includes the real token, and the concept that with every transaction done for the real token, every time somebody does a transaction, it burns XRP. So two things are happening here. You're getting an increase in demand for the XRP token, because for people to buy real token or to use real token or to access the ecosystem, they have to get XRP first and then transfer it. So first you have a massive demand in XRP, and then you're also having a massive supply shock because you're burning XRP with every single transaction. So you're doing everything that really skyrockets the price of XRP, which is buying, and you're burning the supply of XRP. So that is number two. Price number three is one that I think is a critical jump here. We are now leaving the 3 digits. We're heading into the 4 digits. It's not about hundreds of dollars per XRP, but now thousands of dollars per XRP. In this case, over $3,542 is the price of XRP. And this is set to occur once a massive event happens, which is a Ripple IPO and major bank partnerships. Now, you guys may not know this, but Ripple has made it quite clear that they plan within the next 6 to 12 months to IPO, which is officially do an initial public offering for the Ripple Labs company and their stock. What this is about to do is, again, increase the adoption and increase the price action for XRP, which is the system that the Ripple Labs company uses. Now, whether this IPO is going to be in Japan, in Singapore, or in the United States, we are yet to know, but we do know that an IPO is happening potentially in the next 6 to 12 months. In terms of major banking partnerships, this has already begun to unfold. I mean, we're already seeing it happen in real time, like the Bank of Singapore, which is officially in talks with Ripple Labs, the Republic of Palau, which is building a CBDC on the XRP ledger, some of the other massive partnerships like JP Morgan, BlackRock, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs. All of these guys have officially initiated conversation to either use XRP or to partner with Ripple in some way, shape, or form. In fact, Ripple has also joined the Bank of International Settlements to facilitate the $1.25 quadrillion market, or to at least help facilitate, alongside, guess who? BlackRock, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. The big three are now also working alongside Ripple Labs. So we're officially beginning to see the major banking partnerships unfold. Of course, we are still in the beginning phases, but it shows you that we may see this number of $3,542 maybe in the next 2 years or 3 years. And that would be, again, a massive, massive, massive move, because we're talking about trillions of dollars going into the XRP ledger. And really, this is where we get to the biggest number possible. And in my opinion, I believe that $60,000 per XRP is actually the stable price of XRP. This is where we will reach at some point in time, maybe in the next 5 to 10 years. This, though, will come with one specific move, and it has to be, again, it has to be this, and that is the global central banks of the world integrate the XRP ledger ecosystem, whether it be through RippleNet or, for example, the RealFi institution integrating the XRP ledger into the banking system. The central banks have to integrate it. Now, we are talking at this point of basically all of the central banks, so all the G7 nations, all the BRICS nations integrating the XRP ledger. This might be a tough one, but really here is what's happening. We are already seeing partnerships with central banks and Ripple Labs. For example, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, the whole BRICS nations, every one of these countries has at least 1 to 3 partnerships with their central bank or their major financial institutions within that country and Ripple Labs. G7, we're seeing again a lot of them similarly, like France, we're seeing even Canada, some of the big banks in Canada shifting towards using Ripple Net technology, which is partnership with Ripple Labs and using the XRP ledger. This is unfolding. We just need an interoperable system right now, one massive system, and we need the United States to officially make it clear and confirm that yes, they will use the XRP ledger for all payments, not some payments, not just for the US debt, not just for the US Treasury, but all international, cross-border, and internal payments. And this is when the real move will happen. Now, guys, I am going to conclude this video. I don't want it to be too long, but the point here is that a major occurrence will happen for XRP and massively the real token here, guys. If you're not in the real token, you are going to miss out. Now, I'm not financial advice, it's not financial advice, no, you do research, but this is your chance to capture a utility-based token where they've RealFi officially announced that they will burn all remaining pre-sale real tokens at the end of their pre-sale, which is in 72 hours. This is critical, and things are unfolding very, very quickly. So if you want to get in on this massive move, you can check them out. RealFi at RealFi team on Twitter, payrealfi.com. You can also look, guys, there's some massive support levels. You can see that quite clearly. Major support levels, very low resistance. So we're talking about millions of dollars being made here, potentially from 1,000. Every 1,000 could potentially make you a multi-millionaire. Now, again, not financial advisors, not financial advice, always doing research. And I'm going to end it off by saying, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Rumble. As I keep you guys updated with all of the latest news. And of course, follow me and retweet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.